What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful and emotional series to hit HBO in recent years, The Last of Us, Season 1. Whether you played the video game or you're brand new to the story, this is going to be your full recap of Season 1. Stay tuned to the end of the video for some juicy theories on what might go down in Season 2. This is your spoiler warning because we'll be talking everything about Season 1 and potentially what happens in Season 2. Alright guys, let's get into it. First things first, what is The Last of Us even about? Set in a post-apocalyptic world, the story takes place 20 years after a deadly fungal outbreak turned most of the world's population into zombie-like creatures called the Infected. The fungus shown in the show is based on a real-world one called cordyceps, but in this show, it jumps to humans, causing chaos and the fall of society. Our main characters are Joel Miller, a hardened survivor who lost his daughter during the early days of the outbreak. He's emotionally shut off, but extremely capable and protective. Ellie is a 14-year-old girl who is immune to the infection. That's right, bitten, but she never turns. She may be the key to saving the entire world. Together they go on a dangerous journey across the country. Joel is tasked with smuggling Ellie out of a Boston quarantine zone and delivering her to a rebel group called the Fireflies, who believe that they can create a cure using Ellie's immunity. Let's break it down episode by episode, and we're going to focus on the big moments. Episode 1, When You're Lost in the Darkness. We see the outbreak begin in 2003. Joel's daughter, Sarah, is tragically killed by a soldier, setting the tone for Joel's emotional journey. 20 years later, Joel and his partner Tess are working in the Boston quarantine zone. They get a mission from Marlene, the Fireflies leader, to smuggle Ellie out of the city. Episode 2, Infected. Joel, Tess, and Ellie travel through the dangerous city. Tess gets bitten and sacrifices herself so Joel and Ellie can escape. It's the first time Joel starts to understand how serious Ellie's immunity is and how important it can become. Episode 3, Long Time. This is a beautiful self-contained story about Bill and Frank, two survivors who build a life together in a small town. It shows a different side of the apocalypse: love, loss, and survival. Although our main characters are not in this episode, they will make their way by Bill and Frank's house. Episode 4 and 5, titled Please Hold to My Hand and Endure and Survive. Joel and Ellie go through Kansas City. They meet Henry and his little brother Sam, who is deaf. After a tragic series of events involving an infected and a vengeful leader named Kathleen, Sam gets infected and Henry is forced to kill him. Then he takes his own life. These episodes remind us how cruel this world is and how fragile hope can be. Episode 6 is titled Kin. Joel and Ellie reach Jackson, Wyoming, where Joel reunites with his brother Tommy. Joel considers leaving Ellie with Tommy, afraid he'll fail her the way he failed Sarah. But Ellie reminds him she's already lost so much and doesn't want to lose him too. Episode 7, Left Behind. A flashback to Ellie's time at a federal military school. She sneaks out with her best friend Riley, and they share a beautiful night together in an abandoned mall. But it ends in tragedy when they're both bitten. Only Ellie survives. This explains Ellie's trauma and why she's so guarded. Episode 8, When We Are in Need. Ellie is captured by a group led by a creepy preacher named David, who turns out to be a cannibal. Ellie fights back hard and ends up killing him just before Joel, who's still recovering from an injury, finds her. It's a major turning point. Joel now sees Ellie as his own daughter, emotionally, and their bond is also stronger than ever. Episode 9. The season finale is titled look for the light. They finally reach the Fireflies. Joel learns that in order to make a cure, they'll have to remove the infected part of Ellie's brain, killing her. Joel refuses to let that happen. He goes full-on protector mode, kills most of the Fireflies, and rescues Ellie, lying to her about what happened. He tells her that there were other immune people and that the Fireflies ended up giving up on the cure. She asks him at the end if he's telling the truth, and he says yes. But Ellie knows there's something off with his response. The real heart of The Last of Us is the bond between Joel and Ellie. It's about found family, trust, sacrifice, and how far someone will go to protect the one they love, even if it means lying to them or dooming the world. Joel goes from a broken, emotionally distant man to someone who finds purpose in protecting Ellie. And Ellie, who started off angry and closed off, learns to trust and love someone again. But that trust might be shaken. So what might happen in Season 2? Well, we know that they're not following the second video game, The Last of Us 2, to a T, and they have changed quite a bit. But I'm going to give you 3 big theories that are loosely based on the games and where the show could possibly go. Theory 1. Ellie will learn the truth about Joe's lie. Now, I think this one is pretty obvious because you can't really continue the story and have this huge secret be a secret. At the end of Season 1, Joel tells Ellie that the Fireflies didn't need her after all, and that he found other people like her. But we know the truth. He killed everyone to save her, even if it meant possibly dooming humanity. If Ellie finds out the truth in Season 2, it could completely shatter their relationship. Ellie trusted Joel with her life, and more than that, she believed that she had a purpose. Finding out that she was the cure, and Joel took that away from her, could lead to deep resentment, anger, and heartbreak. The emotional fallout could be massive. Ellie might feel betrayed, not just because of the lie, but because Joel made that choice for her. This could cause her to pull away or even go off on her own, setting up a darker, more personal journey. And for Joel, the consequences might be more eternal. A man who finally allowed himself to love again might have to live with the cost of that love. Theory 2. The arrival of Abby and a cycle of revenge. Now, we know from the trailers that Abby will definitely be in Season 2. The biggest twist from the game sequel, and likely a major focus in Season 2, is the introduction of Abby, a skilled and driven character whose life has been devastated by Joel's actions at the hospital. If the show follows this storyline, we could see Season 2 explore the theme of revenge in a very personal and painful way. Abby may not be the villain in the traditional sense, but rather someone seeking justice for her own loss, making her a reflection of Ellie in many ways. This theory introduces a moral gray area. Viewers might struggle with who to root for, especially if the show dives into Abby's point of view. It would force the audience to confront the question, does doing something terrible for someone you love make you a hero or a villain? If true, the storyline could break hearts and spark huge debates in the fanbase. It pushes the narrative beyond just survival. It's about what kind of people we become after we survive. Theory 3. Ellie's immunity still matters. Even though Joel told Ellie the Fireflies didn't need her, that doesn't mean the hope for a cure is truly gone. What if there's still someone out there who could develop a vaccine? Or what if Ellie's blood plays a new role in Season 2? If Ellie's immunity becomes important again, it could reignite the conflict between personal choice and the greater good. Maybe Ellie, once she learns the truth, decides to willingly sacrifice herself for a second chance at a cure. Or maybe someone else, like a new faction, tries to force that decision on her. This theory would put Ellie in direct control of her own destiny, unlike in Season 1 where Joel made the call. And if she chooses to risk her life, it could be her way of making peace with all the loss that she suffered, especially Riley, Sam, Tess, and possibly Joe if something happens to him. But if this all plays out, it could also mean saying goodbye to Ellie in the long run. And let's be real, nobody's ready for that. Each of these theories paints a different emotional path for our characters. Whether it's betrayal, revenge, or sacrifice, one thing's for sure, Season 2 is going to hurt, but it's also going to challenge us to think deeply about love, loss, and what we're willing to do in the name of both. That is your complete breakdown of The Last of Us Season 1. So what do you think? Which theory feels most likely, or do you have a theory of your own? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.